Before we get on to this sort of development on the Tory reform front, James, we talked about Wes Streeting just now, but we know that Keir Starmer, almost ever since he got into power, has been diluting Brexit as much as he can. We need to, what's it he calls it? We need to reset our relationship with Brussels. No, that's not what we voted for. We voted for having no particular relationship with Brussels at all. We don't want to be closer. We want to be further away from them. In this rambling interview that he gave to The Observer yesterday in his Wellington boots in the forest, Wes Streeting said, implied, but as good as said, the trouble with Keir Starmer is he's not cozying up to Europe enough. He effectively said, if I become Prime Minister, we will rejoin the customs union. So Labour's desire, an ongoing project to destroy Brexit, continues apace.
Yeah, I mean, both Wes Streeting and the walking embarrassment that is Ed Davey, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, has managed to make Keir Starmer look quite statesmanlike, which is no mean feat, given he is the merchant banker that chap Socks said that he was.
I thought it was a human rights lawyer. I didn't realise it was a merchant banker.
I don't know what human rights lawyer will become Cockney rhyming slang for one day.
Is there anything?
It'd be nothing nice.
Does anything rhyme with lawyer? Let me know. 03444991000 and make it clean.
But Ed Davey asked him the same question about rejoining the customs union, and Starmer made the point that I'm going to make now. And Starmer obviously is such a ghastly Ramona that he tried to push for a second referendum and all the rest of it. And I voted leave, and I can tell you, just as Starmer did, that if we were to rejoin the EU customs union, not only would we not have any say on our trade policy again, we would be totally in hock to Brussels, which of course is what people like Streeting want. No votes, because then the logical next step is, well, we better rejoin then. But as Starmer at least pointed out, if we did that, it would invalidate the trade deal we've got with America, the trade deal with India, all the other trade deals we've got around the world, the really great, actually very good deals with Australia and with Japan and all these other countries, and prevent us from doing it. So again, we go from being a rule maker to a rule taker. We go to being a supplicant. And maybe if we had a kind of deal like that with the United States, which is about 66% or something better off than we are now, average Brits there, it might be worth tying ourselves into the American economy because it's still growing so much. Yeah. The EU isn't growing at all. It hasn't grown at all since the financial crash. So why would we tie ourselves in to this tired, sclerotic, dying organism where we actually have a deal with no tariffs with the EU and go and make these better deals with the rest of the world? That's obviously a superior position, and I'm not surprised that some idiot like Wes Streeting can't understand that, or won't, because he cares more about the politics of it than the welfare and the well-being and the prosperity of his fellow Brits.
It's the funny thing with these Labour people, isn't it, these cabinet ministers, they don't think that democratic decisions by the people matter.
Of course not.
They know better. Actually, the people need to be protected from their own baser instincts. We're going to hell in a handcart with this lot, I'll tell you.
And that is the socialist mindset, right? Yeah, and anybody
who people are wrong,
who made the mistake of voting for the Labour Party listening to this, I hope will never make that mistake again. They don't care about you, and you are only tools for them to express their actual ideology. Yeah. That's all that matters to these people.
Exactly right, exactly right. Now, Kemi Badenoch, your leader, the leader of the party that you still support wholeheartedly, James. She's a new poll reveals, and I'm not surprised about that she is closing in on Nigel Farage in terms of her popularity. That's because she's had a very good month. She's, in the past month, particularly after the budget and since then, at the ballot box in particular, plus her initiatives, she's been a sort of whirlwind of activity, has been pretty impressive at tackling the government, at showing the government up for the disaster that it is. So she's on a roll per se. I just think she's left it too late now. And despite her improved performance, I don't see how the Tories can go into the next election with her in charge.
Well, it's a long way until the next election. Who knows what happens? We may end up with all different party leaders. We may end up with all the same. I think probably guaranteed that Starmer won't lead Labour into the next election, but we'll see. As you said, Kemi's had a really good couple of months. That response to the budget, her conference speech was excellent. She's learned how to do PMQs now.
Yes,
and no longer make Starmer look
which is more than
Starmer. Exactly right. Starmer's been having 5 years of it.
So Starmer, his response to everything in PMQ is, what about Liz Truss?
Yeah, exactly.
Liz Truss. Liz, shut up.
Followed by for quite a while as he leafs through his book of notes thinking there's a magic answer in there for him somewhere.
Yeah, waiting list down. No, they're not.
No, they're not. No, and he lies, of course. That's his
free breakfast clubs. They're not free.
Nothing free under the sun.
Nobody cares about them anyway.
So I think what's really good is that with the rise of the Reform Party has pushed the Conservatives to a much more sensible, hardline position on immigration. And I think what's going to happen now, and what is happening now, is the Conservatives, which is still the most trusted party on the economy out of any, are pushing reform into a better place on that. Richard Tice has had to come out and say that something even as much as the pensions triple lock needs to be looked at. They've junked a lot of the spending and taxes they couldn't talk about. There's still some silly stuff from Zia Youssef about part nationalising Rolls-Royce, which I just think is a ridiculous distraction. It's a fantastic company. So you're seeing a better competition with these two parties on the right duking it out and the Tories gaining some ground. I think that is fabulous. I think that needs to happen for at least another year or so. We'll see what happens, of course, in May next year with the local elections and what happens there. But I think the problem will be if we still have two parties on the right who are fighting it out with each other, if they can't work out some kind of, either one party destroys the other or some kind of agreement or something, it's the only way that this rancid Labour government is ever going to get a second term.
Let me ask you this, the invitation to 63 councillors to consider whether or not they want to actually have local elections in May, and the invitation by the government. Of course, these are invitations to administrations that would lose their power if they had these elections. So it's pretty obvious what their answer is going to be. 63, will there still be a lot of other local elections apart from these 63 councils where there'll be boundary changes?
Yes, so there'll still be in Wales and Scotland, principally in May, and there will be other ones as well. It's all about what we have at the moment is not a uniform set of powers across the country. So there are some areas with metro mayors, there are some unitary authorities, and then you've got the tiering systems of county and district and either city or borough or parish or whatever else it may be. I understand there's some wisdom in trying to rationalise all of that, but Labour's decision to ban these elections or to postpone them again has been criticised by the Electoral Commission itself as not a good enough reason in order to stop these elections. Remember that weeks after the final victory over Japan at the end of the Second World War, we had elections.
It was
spread over a couple of days, but there were servicemen all over the world, and we managed to hold an election in the midst of the Blitz and the rubble of World War II. We can do it now. I mean, Starmer's pretty bad. He's not quite as bad as the rubble-strewn country in 1945.
I should stress Labour's standpoint on this is that because of boundary changes, if they had all of these elections, some councillors would only retain their seats for a matter of weeks, so it's better to wait until reorganisation has happened. That is Labour's standpoint of this. Many people feel it's just because Keir Starmer is very, very frightened of what might happen at these elections that he'll get a shellacking. It'll look very bad. But the point is that, A, doing this plays right into Nigel Farage's hands, and B, because of the other elections, it's still going to look very bad for Labour. They might as well, be hung for a sheep as a lamb on this one. Another very bad move very quickly. Yeah, absolutely right. And it's only going to help Nigel Farage say that these people are scared of democracy. It's only going to do good on the Tories, people like Robert Jenrick and Alex Burkhardt, for coming out and saying the other Conservative councillors should go against this as well. Democracy is not a nice to have. Our liberty is not a nice to have. It's essential for our country. Absolutely. Fabulous first hour from James Price, who was nice enough to get up at the crack of sparrows to be on this show. Thank you very much, James. Very happy Christmas to you and yours. And you, my friend.